It's Saturday, the Sabbath. There's nothing to be done except to wait. Jesus' body was hastily taken down and given to Joseph of Arimathea and put in a tomb cut out of rock with a stone rolled against the entrance the prior evening. Work could not be done on the Sabbath, so he had to do something quick, and Jesus' body wasn't given a proper burial. And some women who had been following Jesus from the beginning saw where his body was put to rest and made plans to come back on Sunday morning, when work like preparing a body properly for burial could take place. But for now, they had to wait. In Dr. Seuss's "Oh, the Places You'll Go," I've always been struck by the few pages where you are stuck in the waiting place, the place where everyone is always waiting for something to happen, and we all end up there at some point in our lives. I can imagine the waiting that happened for the disciples and all of Jesus' followers on the Saturday after the crucifixion. For us today, we'd say the Saturday before Easter, and we might even hold an Easter vigil. But for them, that first Saturday, it was the day after their worlds came crashing down on them. Their teacher, their rabbi, the possible Messiah, the Savior from the Roman rulers, the promised King who would restore all that was wrong, is dead. They had witnessed it themselves. They had seen Jesus die a humiliating death from near and afar. Their hopes had been dashed, and now they were waiting. Waiting for what? Who knows? Waiting in grief? Waiting for what's next? Waiting just to wait? Waiting because they don't know what's next? We know some of Christ's followers are just waiting for the next morning so they can go give Jesus a proper burial. Their waiting is day to day, doing just what they can. I also wonder about the other characters in the story from this past week. I wonder if Pilate is waiting for the other shoe to drop. After all, he did just release a well-known criminal in Barabbas, and his wife did give him a warning. I wonder if the Jewish leaders who turned Jesus over to Pilate are waiting for things to get back to normal now that they got that rouser out of the picture. I wonder how the centurion is feeling in his waiting after he exclaimed, "Surely this man was the Son of God." I'm sure a lot of people are just waiting to return to their homes as they were just in town for the Passover feast and have the rumors and stories of what happened at the temple with the curtain ripping and the earthquake and the darkening of the sun. They might be waiting to tell people of their exciting trip they had just experienced. As we can imagine, a lot of people are waiting, but they don't know they're waiting on the most important event in history, the pivotal turning point of all we know. They were just in the waiting place. I wonder if we too are in the waiting place this year. After a year of global pandemic, after a year of political turmoil, after a year of our religious routines having been changed, after a year where some of you have experienced job loss, lost loved ones, changed the way you work, been saddled with the duties of teaching along with parenting, started new careers, retired from long careers, quit some favorite hobbies and routines, and picked up new and different ones. With all that has happened, I can imagine many of you are in the waiting place alongside myself. But here's the thing about the waiting place. It's also a place of hope or expectation. That word "to wait for" is translated as "to hope for" or "to anticipate" in many languages. So even in our waiting, we can hope, we can expect, we can anticipate, and we can plan for what's next. The women were planning for the next day and worrying about it. Who would roll the stone away so we can anoint Jesus' body? I wonder how we can plan and hope and anticipate, even when we're stuck in the waiting place. Maybe you're waiting for God to show up in a big way in your life. If so, how are you listening and watching for that? Maybe you're waiting for what's next in your life. If so, how are you searching and preparing for when God does show you? Maybe you're waiting for God's calling in your life. If so, how are you getting ready to say, "Here I am, Lord, send me"? Maybe you're waiting for an answer to a health issue for yourself or a loved one. How are you preparing your heart and your mind for the answer? Whatever you're waiting for, I hope you will know this. You are not alone in waiting. We are waiting with you. We are hoping with you. We are in this waiting place together, even as we await different things. On this Saturday between Good Friday and Easter Sunday, I hope you experience a little bit of waiting. It's a place we all end up in our lives, and whether that is now or has been in the past or will be in the future, we can wait together on this day. Unlike the disciples that first Saturday, we know what happens on Sunday, and it is glorious. So we can wait with hope. We will wait with hope, and we will wait together, expectant and anxious, holding on to one another, holding up one another, waiting to hear those words, He is